Beloved, welcome to episode 2 of The Frequency of Truth. If episode 1 reintroduced you to the felt reality of truth, episode 2 shows you how truth reveals itself, not by adding more information, but by removing everything that is not truth. This episode is about unlayering, the quiet, powerful process through which the false dissolves and the real becomes unmistakable. Before we begin, take a deep breath with me. Settle your shoulders, relax your jaw, and allow your attention to drop from your mind into your body. Because unlayering requires softness, and softness requires safety, and safety requires presence. You are here, you are safe, let us begin. Section 1. Illusion is attention, not a lie. When people hear the word illusion, they think of deception, manipulation, or falsehood. But the illusion we're referring to in this art is much simpler and much more intimate. Illusion is any internal tension that forms when you abandon what is true for what is familiar. Illusion is not malicious. Illusion is not a character flaw. Illusion is simply a misalignment, a tiny contraction, a subtle tightening, a quiet dissonance that forms when the body whispers no and the mind says, but I have to, but they expect me to. But it's fine, but I don't want to deal with the consequences. Illusion is the residue of all the moments where you honored survival over self. And here's the miracle. You don't eliminate illusion by force. You dissolve illusion through recognition. Section 2. Truth emerges when what is false is released. Truth is not something you climb toward. It's not something distant. It's not a spiritual achievement. Truth surfaces naturally when distortion falls away. Think of a pond. If the water is stirred, muddy, disrupted, you can't see the bottom. Not because the bottom disappeared, but because the surface was disturbed. Your inner truth has never disappeared. It was simply obscured by fear, people-pleasing, social conditioning, inherited beliefs, childhood survival strategies, perfectionism, self-doubt, emotional avoidance, and the stories you adopted to be loved, safe, or accepted. Truth does not need to be discovered. It needs to be uncovered. And uncovering requires one thing: unlayering. Section 3. What unlayering actually feels like. Unlayering is not intellectual. It is not psychological analysis. It is not emotional excavation. Unlayering is a physical experience. Truth reveals itself through a sudden exhale, a collapse of internal resistance, a softening behind the sternum, a sense of, oh, that's what's real, the disappearance of confusion, a subtle lightness, deeper breath without effort. Unlayering is when the nervous system stops bracing and starts listening. It is the moment your system says, I don't have to hold this anymore. Sometimes unlayering feels liberating. Sometimes it feels vulnerable. Sometimes it feels like grief, the grief of releasing an identity you outgrew. Unlayering is the doorway to truth. Section 4. The 3 main layers that block truth. In this episode, we identify the 3 primary forms of illusion that obscure truth. These appear in almost everyone's system. First, the layer of protection. These are beliefs formed for survival. Don't speak up. Don't need too much. Don't upset anyone. Stay small to stay safe. These were once adaptive. Now they distort truth. Number 2, the layer of performance. This is the identity you built to be seen a certain way. Competent, kind, strong, agreeable, capable, spiritual, put together. These layers become masks, even when well-intentioned. Number 3, the layer of avoidance. This is a layer designed to protect you from discomfort, distracting, numbing, staying busy, overthinking, avoiding confrontation, intellectualizing emotions. Avoidance does not block truth, it blocks the felt experience of truth. When these layers begin to dissolve, truth feels closer, clearer, and louder. You do not become more spiritual, you become more real. Section 5. Live Guided Unlayering Practice. Beloved, place a hand on your chest. Let your breath become soft. I'm going to gently guide you inward. Do not solve, do not interpret, just notice. Step 1. Feel where your body is tightening right now. Maybe your throat, maybe your belly, maybe your heart, maybe your back. You don't need to know why, just notice the tightness. Step 2. Ask softly, what truth is that tightness protecting me from? You may feel a memory, a sensation, a word, a feeling, or nothing yet. Whatever arises, it's enough. Step 3. Whisper internally, I am willing to see what is true. Notice the shift. Your system is already unlayering. Truth requires willingness, not force. Step 4. Breathe into the tight areas, slow, gentle, and present. Notice if something softens. Notice if something releases. Notice if clarity appears without thought. That is truth resurfacing. Section 6. Closing. Truth doesn't arrive, it emerges. Beloved, truth is not something you find. It is something that reveals itself once illusion dissolves. All unlayering is self-liberation. You do not become someone new. You return to who you were before distortion entered your system. You become clearer, calmer, more honest, more aligned, more yourself. Episode 2 teaches you something powerful. Truth is not a destination. Truth is a removal. And in episode 3, we step into the deeper question. What happens when truth contradicts who you think you are? That's where the real transformation begins. For now, breathe gently. Feel what softened. You didn't learn truth, you unveiled it. Welcome deeper into the frequency of truth.